Hello and welcome to Sarcastic Videos. Today we're going to be talking about the Netflix original comedy special, Maz Jobrani Immigrant. This special was just released on Tuesday, August 1st. It was shot at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C., and it was shot pretty recently because there is a lot of Trump humor in it, which was pretty funny actually. He comes out dancing to Fight the Power by Public Enemy, and he does what he calls Persian dancing, which was pretty funny. In the beginning, he starts out talking about like the different cultures, and doing like an audience poll where he asks what different cultures are there, introducing himself to a few, getting some names, which come in later. He actually does this a few times throughout the show. One time he stops and asks people from these different cultures how they say balls in their different languages. At the end, he asks how they say fart in different languages. He asks different people about whether they have kids or not, and whether, how they were raised and things like that. So he does interact with the audience quite a bit. It's good, but at some points it feels a little like padding the runtime of the show. It's just a little over an hour, but it depends. Like for me, I thought it was funny and it was entertaining. Maybe it went on just a little too long. He does start out talking about Trump, saying like him being president is like one of the longest SNL sketches ever. And then he does talk quite a few things about like how it's hard to, as a comedian, to keep up with Trump because he's doing so many things that you can make fun of as a comedian. And one of the things was trying to get rid of his son-in-law by always sending him to all the dangerous locations. And he talks about like protesting with the travel ban and how he went down to the airport to protest, and how the difference between the white people protesting and how everybody else, because the white people had no problems like getting in the faces of the police and things like that, but everybody else was scared when the police showed up. So that was interesting. It was pretty funny. And he talks about how he donated to the Clinton campaign and how he feels like kind of ripped off about what happened. And he was pretty convinced that Trump was trying to lose. But that you can kind of tell by the way the things that he was saying, and it was pretty interesting, his take on things. He talks about how people liked Trump just because he was saying what's on his mind, but nobody actually knew anything about what his policies were, other than he was trying to, he was going to lower taxes, and that's pretty much it. So not knowing what his policies were has led us to where we are now. So then there's some things about how he's a Muslim, but not really. Like he's a Muslim ish. That's what he says. He's Muslim-ish because he doesn't do all the usual things that Muslims do, like the praying 5 times a day and fasting at Ramadan. And even when he gets into a car accident, it's not Muhammad's name he yells, it's Jesus, because it's shorter. So that was pretty funny. And he talks a little bit about the Bruce Jenner and the sex change, and how it was interesting for somebody to know what they're doing as far as life goes and be that determined to become a woman when he's having trouble just deciding what's for breakfast. And then he talks about like the Olympics, things like that. He goes into a few different things, like how, no matter how old you are when you watch the Olympics, you always kind of think that if you trained hard enough, you could be there too. And now our Iranians can't be in team sports because they don't get along, so they only do good at the single sports. So, and then he goes into some things like raising kids and the usual. Usually any kind of middle-aged comic goes into something about raising kids, if they have kids at that age, and the effect it has on their sex life. And he's telling a story about that, and how he was so glad to finally have a chance to be with his wife, but he ruined it by farting. And then that led into the whole thing where he asked the different cultures how you say fart in their language, and then at the very end, he says that in England, farting is called Trump. So it was pretty funny that he kind of wrapped it up that way, saying, how he started out political and then he ended political. But it was pretty funny. A good way to end the show. It's good. Not great. He does get some good laughs. I did think the audience padding went on a little bit too long where he's interacting with the audience, but overall, it's a funny show. And I would recommend it on Netflix. I'd give it a thumbs up. And out of 10, I would give it a 7 out of 10 as far as comedy specials go. So that is the Netflix original comedy special, Maz Jobrani Immigrant. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe, or all of the above. Thank you, and have a nice day.